Hi, on today's Health Options, we're going to be discussing my personal story of health restoration from migraine headaches. And this whole process of learning how to deal with my own problems and health issues over the course of years has led me to compile some of the best home practices that I discovered and bring them to you online. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about that later on. But right now I want to talk to you a little bit about migraine headaches and what I was dealing with. Now, my story of pain, and I can appreciate pain if you've ever dealt with migraines, they're not fun. And I can understand some of the real depression that can be associated with chronic pain because I experienced some of that, and it can be devastating to your whole life. My migraine headaches were really caused by a number of different things. I had hormonal imbalances going on that had been undiagnosed back in my 20s. And I had also had a history of physical trauma that dated back to childhood. I remember my earliest head trauma date goes back to 1967. I was 5 years old. And interesting in evaluating all of that and how that played into some of the problems I was later on having in my life. Now, a few car accidents, issues with my neck. By the time I was in my mid to late 20s, I was getting migraines. I had issues with fatigue, and I was a young mom. I just thought, life is busy. Life brings you problems. You just deal with it and you push through. It wasn't until I was in my I was later 20s, and I came across some natural methods for pain, and I was really, really interested and discovered some specialized chiropractic techniques, and one specifically that adjusts with no manipulation, which to me was unbelievable. And this was before I even got involved in Chinese medicine and went to Chinese medicine school. This was way back in 1992, 91. And through that experience and learning more about my body and the interaction in my body, and noticing that, the Western approach to health problems really addresses only symptom relief for the most part, unless, there's a trauma and they've got to repair things or cut things out or. But for the most part, it's symptom relief using some kind of drug that then leads to side effects. And by the time I started experiencing chronic pain, I was aware enough to realize, well, I don't want to take all of these medications on a regular basis and end up with other problems that are more severe. And so started really looking at other options. And again, came really across chiropractic care. This Atlas adjustment that there's no manipulation of the neck, and it was like a miracle for me. And I started looking deeper. Then I came across this practice of Chinese medicine and really stumbled, I believe, divinely inspired. Thank you, Lord, because it changed my whole world. Next thing I knew, I was enrolled in Chinese medicine school and learning about this whole other system of medicine. But that's another video. We'll talk about a little bit more about what I discovered on that end. But it was another approach. It was different than drugs. And what I loved most is that even though this strange new way of looking at health and wellness was so different, there were no negative side effects. And what I looked at was any kind of system that's been around for thousands of years, my goodness, there's got to be something to this. And new to us, but not new in China. See, for our culture, we only got exposed to some of these ideas in the 70s, when China was opened up to the West and we became exposed to things like acupuncture and this Chinese herbal medicine and this whole other practice that seems like voodoo for a lot of people. Well, maybe reverse voodoo. But I saw something here that fascinated me and intrigued me. And so I jumped and I went to school. I became licensed in 1996. Started really like most doctors looking at their own self and self-analysis and self-evaluating. And I was looking at, well, I'm getting these headaches and I get these problems. And so through my journey of self-discovery of my own health and lack of wellness, really opened my eyes also to what's so prevalent out in our communities and in our American society, where there's just, it's symptom driven through chemicals, and that doesn't hit the cause. So what I discovered for my own self, once I started looking at the causes, like some of these old traumas, and doing self-pressure techniques, getting physical work done, but then looking at, wow, there's certain foods that actually can cause inflammation. Now, inflammation can actually cause pain. And I started realizing that my own issues, there was a correlation to some of the foods I was eating. And I started to dig deeper. I started to learn more, get more in-depth information, and over the course of decades, have put together tools that I share with my patients that are in the clinic. But this video and the series of videos that we're going to be putting together is all about bringing some of these techniques to you. So some of the points I want to show you real quick, kind of what we're going to be talking about in class and on these video virtual classes. Say for tension headaches, there's points on the hand, and we're going to talk about how that channel connects up to the head, what it's connected to, the digestive system. Interesting. And so these are some of the ideas. So acupressure, but also talking about some of these food items we need to be so aware of that can be triggering problems. Now, in the next video I'm going to be sending out, we're going to go over a little bit more detail on what this program is going to be, and then I'm going to have a special offer for all of my friends, family, my patients, my former patients, all those out there that have supported all the work I've done over the years. Special offer for you guys to get in on this premier launch of this program, and so be on a lookout for that. I'd like to be starting up next week, and so stay tuned and email me if you like this video. If you've got interest in some of this, shoot me an email back, let me know. I'm going to be designing a lot of this program around our interaction, so it's not going to be just videos of me talking to you, but there's also going to be a private Facebook group where we can interact and share ideas, share struggles. I can bring, answers to some of your questions. And there's also going to be a phone conference on over a 4-week course. And so we'll get on the phone with you, and we'll in a conference setting, and be able to support each other, ask questions. Again, get this program, get some of this information into your hands so you can start treating some pain naturally for either yourself, your family, your spouse, your friends, coworkers. You share this with them, you can help them. Wouldn't it be cool to know what points to press on to relieve some pain? And so, again, I'm Dr. Mary Riggin. You can see more about me at healingtouchom.com or reach me at drmary@healingtouchom.com. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Thanks for watching.